like a huge Elvis museum. It was like very mind-blowing. I arrived at like 10:30 and I stayed till 1:30, and then I went back to Nashville and I didn't get back till like 5 p.m. and the sun was setting. Yeah, that day was pretty exhausting for us. I gotta say it was pretty exhausting. And then Saturday we slept in, and then we went into the city for a few hours, and then we went to the Rangers game against the Nashville Predators. We actually got to go into the Bridgestone Arena for the first time. We were in the Bridgestone Arena for the first time. It looked really nice. We were at a Rangers away game against the Nashville Predators while in Nashville. Yeah, the trip was like wrapped around the weekend of when the Rangers were coming to town in Nashville. And that worked out pretty well. We got to see the Bridgestone Arena and walk around it. And we got to see the Rangers play at Nashville. So yeah, that was the whole point of going in November, was because the Rangers were going to play in Nashville at the time. So we chose the weekend that was wrapped around when the Rangers were going to play in Nashville. And that worked out pretty well. Yeah, we did a lot in the city area. And then we went back to the resort and we picked up McDonald's, and that was our night for Saturday. And then it was Sunday the 13th, and we had Shoney's for breakfast. And then we hung out in the room for a few hours, and then we went back to the Grand Ole Opry area, and we did the ice experience with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And it looked like the actual movie. It nearly looks realistic to the actual film. There was like ice Rudolph statues everywhere. It was like a huge display of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer from 1964 Rankin Bass. The display was nice. I have all the pictures I did in a slideshow last year when I came home before Thanksgiving. It was really nice. And the Gaylord Opry looked nice in Nashville. It was a huge experience in there. It was like really nice. And we went to go get some KFC for dinner that night, and I made myself a chicken sandwich because I had a biscuit and some chicken. And then I went to bed immediately afterwards because I had to get up at like 3 in the morning. And I got up at 3 in the morning, and it was Monday, November 14th, and it was time to go back to Long Island. It was time to head home back to New York and Long Island. And my flight from Southwest, which was from Nashville to LaGuardia, was at 6 in the morning. So the sun was like coming up when the plane took off. So we left the resort at like 3 o'clock. We returned our rental. And then we went through TSA. We had breakfast. And we went to the gate at like 5 a.m. and we boarded the plane at like 5:30. And our Southwest plane didn't push back until 6 in the morning, and the sun was coming up. Yeah, it wasn't broad daylight like what we saw in LaGuardia, because it was like in the middle of November, which means a later sunrise, but we did turn the clocks back. But the sunrise is still a bit later than the summertime in November. And we landed at like 9:30 Easter time back to LaGuardia, and we headed home. We headed back home to Long Island. Oh, I forgot to mention that we actually had a turkey dinner the day before we left for Nashville on Election Day, and Believe it or not, I was hiding from a hurricane in Nashville. I was hiding from Hurricane Nicole, which weakened to its remnants when it impacted Long Island. It impacted Long Island on Veterans Day at like night, and it delivered heavy rain and 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts over here. So I made sure I was well prepared for that storm before I left. So it was like a remnant low of Hurricane Nicole. It weakened to a tropical storm and its remnant on November 11th while I was in Nashville that night on Veterans Day. So yeah, I was like hiding from a hurricane while in Nashville, while in Tennessee. And we actually got some of the remnants from Nicole while in Nashville. We got some like heavy rain on the morning where we left to Memphis. Yeah, that was a long drive to Memphis. It was like 3.5 hours. And we were on Interstate 40. Yeah, Interstate 40 goes across America. It was definitely a huge experience seeing Elvis, the Elvis Mansion. I have all the pictures in a slideshow on YouTube, so you guys are welcome to see that. Oh, I forgot to mention that I actually got to do some Johnny Cash Museum while in Nashville. I got to see the Johnny Cash Museum. And the thing about Nashville is that they don't really let you film much stuff. It's like only pictures. But it was still worth it. I really loved Nashville. My dad really wants to go back there. It was like really nice. But it's too bad we wouldn't live there because of all the tornadoes they put up with. So yeah, so we had to deal with Hurricane Nicole while we were in Nashville. Like, we got some rain from it while we were headed to Memphis. So I guess that's it. Bye.